your fucking hairline. I hate your fucking smile. I hate that fucking Mexican always in your shadow. And I hate that fucking hoodie with every fucking battle. As far as DNA, I let the Glock fly 3, let these bullets park in sun and leave them shaking when I lean.
Who the big crip? Ain't shit you could tell me, but I keep killing my homies. YMW Melly, yeah. Who the big crip?
So, and the crazy thing is, and I think something that a lot of people have to realize, especially when it comes to creating content, and this is what I learned over the weekend, dog. One thing about this rap beef is you're never going to be able to get one side to like the other regardless. No, it doesn't matter how you thought this played out, Drake versus Kendrick Lamar. Let's be honest. You're not going to make a Kendrick Lamar fan like Drake. It don't matter if Drake just dropped the most vicious verses ever, the greatest songs ever. They still going to be like, nah, I'm cool. And then the same thing for Kendrick Lamar. I mean, for Drake fans, no Drake fan. Like if I'm really a Drake fan, and we talked about this before on here before it even became a versus thing, nothing that Kendrick Lamar gonna say is going to move the needle for them to make them be like, oh, I'm about to start going to go listen to Kendrick Lamar now. So I do think realistically, if we're being honest, that's kind of how it's just going to go. And that's why one of the reasons why I was like, and the crazy thing is because of course when the more the battle started, I think when he dropped Euphoria, right? Man, there was so many people in my comments, like, but it was like pages with no, of course, I'm not gonna engage, and you don't have no post, you never post nothing, you got 0 followers, whatever the case may be, and you just talking crazy in my comments. I'm gonna look at it and I'm like, cool. So that off the rip just kind of threw an alert. I mean, I'm like, all right, well, I really don't even want to talk about this for real. If this is gonna be like what's just gonna be in my comment section, it's kind of like, all right, cool, I can save it for the podcast and I can upload it on YouTube, and I'd rather that space to be what it is. But let's be clear, that YMW Melly, still to me, out of all the Drake, out of all the Kendrick Lamar songs, that YMW Melly line was the absolute hardest bar I heard out of all of them songs that came out. That line was so crazy and so ridiculous, though. I said, oh my God, he just snapped on this joke. And I know for most people, I'm sure we talked about it here. So if you listen to this show,
can I question you? Because even when you say that now, it's like you can't really persuade another fan to be another fan. But any of these battles, have we really like you won over another fan base? Like, because if you say Tupac and Biggie, if you're a Biggie fan, you're going to be
for sure.
Jay-Z and Nas, if you're a Jay-Z fan and Nas fan, I feel like I don't think is it anybody.
I think but I think okay. So for two things. So I'm with you, and I like that you took the conversation there. So for Jay-Z and Nas, I do feel like because people still to the day will still argue which one was who.
That's more of the most equal, I guess, battle or
compared to Kendrick Lamar and Drake, for sure. So I do think a lot of people still, even today, especially New York people and of a certain age, they still would debate which one was Ether or was it Takeover, which one was better. So, and that's my point when I'm saying, so that's why I do agree with what you're saying. I don't necessarily know if you could actually ever win or lose a fan base if you actually got a real fan base. But which to me is, and of course I rather sound like the old man. Let's have conversations on why people were choosing sides with Kendrick Lamar. Because I even looked at it, and I even just in free game to, like, if you are a newer podcast or a content creator, it's cool, get your numbers now. But my only thing to you will be is be ready. How do you sit here and withstand whatever audience that you may grab? I don't necessarily know if you'll even grab a crazy audience unless you do like a super lyrical breakdown. I don't, because I feel like even when I'm looking at it and I'm seeing people like, I just don't know, because I'm looking at it like when people got mad at Drake for sitting here saying the line about the slave situation. And he was like, you rapping like you're trying to free the slaves. People got mad, but then I'm like, hold on, time on, flag on. Why y'all mad? Because I don't know if y'all remember during the pandemic, when the girl on Twitter, no name, but she is a rapper as well, when she called out Kendrick Lamar and J. Cole, because she was like, dog, y'all so save the black people situation, and when we were really going through something for real, neither one of them said nothing. Both of them were super quiet, and people get on Drake all the time about that. But we talking about in the heart, when people needed to hear your voice, and y'all got to think about it. Still go back to 2020 or 2021. Go back to that time, dog. The biggest song that came out of there was Lil Baby's Bigger Picture. So that's what when he's saying that, it's not like he even really like, and I seen people getting mad about like, you can't say nothing like that because you mixing, you're not even from America. I'm like, yes, he can, because at that time when y'all was looking for a song from Kendrick Lamar and J. Cole, they ain't give you one. And people was calling them out like, dog, where y'all at? This is your bag. This is when you supposed to use your voice. And don't get it twisted. J. Cole responded to her, and he came up with like some reason why he was like, I don't feel the place. I don't have the words to say. We all going through it. I don't know what to say. I'm not, like he basically tried to make it like I'm just a rapper, dog. Like you looking for me to say too much. But that's my point of where it's like when I'm paying attention to, especially most people, and I say this all the time. And one thing I can say is what I've learned and what I even will be even more choicier with my words, because I've seen so many people feel like you was going to belittle somebody because they didn't like the Kendrick Lamar song, but or any of his songs. And I know, let's be clear.
But even when you speaking, and we, like I said, if we just sticking on it, how when you saying pick a side, even being in, let's say Kendrick and J. Cole in their shoes, and you saying in that heart of the moment. But I feel like sometimes a lot of people was kind of like, should I be speaking on it? Because also I got to think about, my only fan base is not just, but then that would be even to my bigger point is that kind of should make you look at them funny, because that's basically what you're trying to say is they pulled a Michael Jordan where he was like, well, everybody buys shoes type of situation. Well, if that's how you really feel, then you shouldn't base your career on, and that's what Drake was kind of punching at. Like, all right, I hear you, black power, but your wife is mixed. Like, what are you talking about? Like, you supposed to be this super black power dude, but you got a baby by a mixed woman. Like, relax, dog. Like, you're overselling what you don't really believe in. And then even let's be clear, but then okay, even with that line, is it more so because I mean it has black in her, she's still black. Most people is not blackity black. Like, I'm gonna just go to blackity black.
No, like I get what you're saying, but I do. But guess what? Somebody like Dr. Umar, it'd be a no. Oh, Dr. Umar, yeah,
he's black. No, I'm saying with his women who he dealing with.
Yeah, for sure.
That's what I'm saying. Like when you say stuff like that, I'm just like, do it really matter? Because I
turn the mic up a little bit.
I don't see none of them like blackity black. You know what I'm saying? Like that type of situation. That's why I was just asking, when you say that line, is just like, all right, you do got to mix. But I'm like, majority of people are mixed with something. I don't think nobody just go blackly black like.
I get it and I hear it, but to be, I guess, because even some of Drake was just using his lines against him in that situation where he was like, no, you are the person where is, black of the berry and all that stuff. Like, if that's how you really feel. But that's what, again, where sometimes you got to be firm. Like, that's why you give people Dr. Umar credit, because like, if you're going to preach something, dog, you got the same way, like how when we judge pastors, dog. People put pastors at such a high pedestal because they want you to live what you're talking. Like, you can't see it. Think about it. It's so many pastors that I like, but I know women. I talk about it on here all the time. How many women will crucify Jamal Brown because, he a pastor, but he cheated on his wife and she on this reality show and this, that, and the third, and she always bashing him. So for Jamal Brown, he can never get off the mat. It's a dub for him. He's like, men may like him, but if you realistically, especially if you're a pastor and you can't never get a huge female fan base, it's kind of like almost it's quiet for you. Like you have whatever your pinnacle is right now, it's that you're never going to be able to preach to a louder audience. You can have the best message in the world, and I've listened to him say, I've tried to shit endless Jamal Brown jokes, but people roll their eyes at it. But again, when we talking about if you just look at it, like I said, I want to have the adult conversation, because I don't feel like you can sit here and say who won or who lost, because I can sit here and say
everybody had their own.
Yeah, they're gonna have their own fan base. You're gonna believe whatever your preference is. But my only thing is to call out the biases when it's just like, dog, if y'all really felt that way about Kendrick Lamar, why y'all didn't support Schoolboy Q? And that's from everybody. That's from people on social media, and that's from even your favorite podcasters, your favorite YouTubers. Dog, if you really like Kendrick Lamar like that, why don't you support the rest of TDE like that? Because you don't.
But I don't think that's fair though. Because whatever, no.
Because
hold up. Besides anybody, like, let's say, if you cancel out Rick Ross and you cancel out Lil Wayne, when you come to your homies rapping under you type of situation, how many people really support? But they already don't have their own fan base. Because like I don't know, like I don't know Schoolboy Q beforehand, but I'm just saying, like, if he didn't have his fan base coming with him on that, I when I look at most of these major,
no, you're missing what I'm saying, Marcus. I'm not putting the blame on Kendrick Lamar. I'm putting the blame on the fan base. That's what I'm saying. If that's the type of music you really like and that's what you really gonna stand for, this had nothing to do with Kendrick Lamar. I'm talking about the people who, if you're going to champion Kendrick Lamar, what I'm saying is even take that same energy. The same when we talk about it later with the WNBA. If whatever, and I say this, what is it? I don't know if it was last week or 2 weeks ago. Whatever you actually believe in, promote it, dog. If that's how you actually feel about what you're looking for from your artist and the type of music and the type of person you want them to be, then why not support the rap cities? We talk about that all the time, but guess who the bigger artist is? The girls who get the most naked. I literally seen a joint today when they was comparing Erica Banks freestyle versus a Megan Thee Stallion joint. They both rapped over the Gucci I Think I Love Her. Though she was literally damn near butt naked in the video, almost looked like she was having sex on the bed, just to promote a freestyle. So that's my whole point of what I'm saying. I'm cool with all I'm just saying is if this is what you really like, then stay on that, and really you can't, because there's no way in hell. And that's why even when I was the Euphoria first came out, and I was just like, no, don't get it twisted. Kendrick Lamar was snapping on that joint. He went crazy. Like I said, to me, out of all the songs from Drake and Kendrick, that YMW Melly bar to me was still the hardest bar of the entire weekend. But so with that being said, it's still like, No, it's 2024. We are too much in the Sexy Red, Glorilla, Meg Thee Stallion, Gunna, Lil Baby, Lil Durk. No, I can't. It's no way if that's what you, because constantly it's just almost just like when you're trying to get on a new diet or something. You trying to, you know how hard it is.
New junk food or whatever.
No, you know how hard it is to cut off cravings. It's so hard to be like, I'm gonna go on a no sugar diet and no carbs and no this and bro. That's some of the hardest stuff in the world. So for you saying people's ears, and that's why I'm saying I look on people on social media. If this your first time really ever talking, and this is people that I follow, especially on Twitter or Instagram, wherever the case may be, and I've been following you for a minute, and I know this is not the space you normally take in, I'm looking at you like you just corny because you're just trying to jump on an algorithm. And then it's still even like when people just like it was a young lady, I think she just like started her podcast, and I was looking at the clips, and they was like trying to be like, oh, Drake is washed, it's over. I'm like, bro, y'all know just last year when everybody was doing their wrap-ups on Spotify and Apple Music, I don't think I even heard not one person or seen one person that posted that he wasn't in their top 5. Or if not their top 5, their top 10.
But then that's why I asked you, do you really take everybody's opinion as 100% true? Because like you said, even if I'm starting a podcast or I'm starting, I want to be caught in the algorithm, everybody might not really mean that, but they're just trying to say it to get the attention. And I feel like this is what's showing us right now in society. We just, anything that gets our attention, we attracted to it. We're going to talk about it. We're going to keep talking about it. And we're going, you know what I'm saying? Like, we're going to feel the moment. So I feel like now you want to gain it. Well, so I'm going to say a wild clip. That's how most clips get surfaced or even.
You're absolutely right. But my only thing with that is none of that is sustainable. Like, you can't, if you can't listen to me, and this is the sad thing is where I kind of even caught myself like, I almost got to cut off people that I like because it's just like your conversation. And that's why I wanted to make sure when we had this conversation today, I don't want it to sound biased because even shout outs to Juice, he a friend of the show, and me and him talk about like after every episode, we just talk about different little parts that I probably like. If you say something about like BMF or something, and I may or didn't catch it, and he'd be like, oh, you missed out on the part what your brother was talking about. So we talk about it all the time. But he is he like literally maybe the only person that I know is a real live Kendrick Lamar fan. And I know that just from us having, like I said, previous conversations about Kendrick. But he don't fit in the stereotype of what you consider the normal Kendrick Lamar fan. Like, he literally go to the gym, he work out, he still listen to regular music like everybody else. But normally, even like I said, if you was on social media and you're actually just watching the people, I'm like, bro, I never want to agree with this type of people on music ever in life, because I know after this weekend, we will never agree on music. But even for people who was acting like the Joan, what's the newest Joan he put out, the OV ho, and like, dog, I know the job, especially if you're from New York or anywhere else that's not California, y'all don't even like this music, dog. It's a million people who put out bops just like that. We literally, what was that? Wop 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 wop. What's the dude? The Soak City song. Y'all nigga, like, come with it. That's a TikTok song, but it didn't. Everybody don't act like y'all like that song. Like, we liked it when Russell Westbrook was dancing to it, but you're not acting like you sit here. We go listen to whatever podcast or whatever other show, or when people post their own. I haven't seen people post it. Like, that's why I'm saying where I understand. It was like, and I get it. Maybe some people just feel like I don't know Drake personally, so I don't know what he has done to people to watch so many media personalities, or so many fans may feel like, oh, we just want to all just jump on this bandwagon and try to end him. I'm like, I don't see it. Like, even when Kendrick had the line in that song when he was sitting here trying to like discredit, oh, you went to Atlanta to do this, that, and the third. So you think, I don't like that picture he trying to paint was like, oh, you went to Future to get the club song. But I think he did Future more of a favor than Drake. I mean, the Future did Drake a favor.
But okay,
same thing with the Migos.
But let's stay right there. I think it just values, and you can put it even like just necessarily in the sports, but I just values your credibility or who you are. Even with Kendrick saying that line, which is, I feel like some of it is true, but then it's just like, all right, LeBron played with such and such everybody, but then after that, did you still see the same? So
that's what I'm saying. So
I get what Kendrick said and where he went at it, and it's not true. It's not wrong about it, and that's why.
So my question to you is then, what part do you feel like is not wrong?
That line, I mean, that whole line.
Okay, so that line, basically what he said was, okay, when you weren't getting your songs played in the club, you went to go link up with Future. Okay, let's say, okay, cool. Then he was like, after that, for the lingo, you went to Lil Baby. For your street cred, you went to 21 Savage, and Young Thug made you feel like a slime. And then Quavo told you could rep the North Side, and then some, he was like 2 Chainz said you was good. Listen to what I'm saying. One thing and the crazy thing is with him with Drake and Future, and even if you really listen to the song, like even that Family Matters Joan, he kind of sounds so disappointed and hurt that Future was the one. Like, he probably wouldn't even care about none of these other dudes, but the Future thing, like when he came to that bar and he was like, dog, I listened to you put out 2 projects, and I like that bar. He even said like I had to hit the Kim K and I had to skim through it. Like, dog, Drake was going crazy on that Family Matters song. But again, like I said, I just watch how people would say, "Oh, I'm gonna be crip walking," like, dog. It's so and the crazy thing is, I'll follow other California and rest in peace to Draco the Ruler, because he was one of the young men. I think we talked about it. I think he been past maybe almost 2 years now. I can't remember. He got stabbed at one of those festivals that Snoop Dogg was having. So his brother came out and said something that's like, damn, that's crazy how y'all acting like y'all like this sound, and my brother was doing it for years, and he was beefing with other dudes in Cali for trying to steal his sound, and now the world is acting like, oh, this is a bop. And he was just, because it is so many people, and that is one thing I can say, shout outs to No Jumper, because they give all of these people a platform, and we'll get to that in a little bit too when we talk about Vlad. And so many people get upset with white people being, because of that line, of course, with the colonizer line, and that was the lead up to the Atlanta bars when he was breaking that down, basically sitting here saying, you're not a colleague, you're a colonizer. So it was just like, and even with that, like I said, for the No Jumper, even with he gives so much platforms to a lot of young LA dudes that people don't know of. And that's how I get hip to people from LA that I don't know necessarily I wouldn't know who Draco the Ruler was if it wasn't for No Jumper. But I watch him do No Jumper interviews. Oh, and he had Shy Glizzy on the project. Oh, so let me go listen to this. Boom, whatever the case may be. So it's just like certain little things where it's like, why I kind of don't value what people saying, because it's just like, you got to be like this 24/7. You can't just get so excited about a hip hop beef and you watching thinking people going to tear down Drake. Dog, that's never going to happen, dog. He got too much music out and people love his catalog too much. And even like I said, going back to the young lady when they was trying to discredit like her, they was literally trying to compare Mr. Morale to the Big Steppers to Honestly Nevermind. I'm like, how? So tell me. This nigga that put out a project every year, like in a month span from 2021 to 2022, 2023. And you picked you comparing his dance album numbers to Kendrick Lamar's album when he took a 5-year break. Like, how do that make sense? Why did you found the smallest number that Drake did, the lowest jump, and that was 200,000 on a dance album? Why you didn't compare it to CLB that came out right before that? Nigga, that did 600,000. Why not the jump after that? I said, well, what about her loss? And that, well, we not talking about collab albums, but it did 400,000. What you about to make it like 21 Savage was the reason why I did 400,000?
But that's my question. Even when we talk numbers, or we even bring those album sales really into conversation, can it really trigger, or can it even really change anything? Because like, if we just go back to the fan situation, if your fan buys more or spend more on you, that don't make, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's why I say,
I think sometimes realistically you gotta throw the numbers in for just the sake of, because you can't sway either fan base. So you gotta kind of be like, all right, let's be honest. If people like it that much, then you would be able to. It's not about spending money, it's about what people like.
But even still, I feel like if my fan base is more supportive and they go out of the way to do that, and they're gonna run my numbers up so I can have those numbers. But that don't make me like, oh damn, my music is I just got a good supporting fan base.
I hear what you're saying, Marcus, but it's 2024 though. You can literally it don't cost you whatever you're gonna pay your Apple Music or even if you go on Spotify, it's free. But if you got Apple Music, though, you don't pay your $10 regardless if you listen to a song or not. So it's not costing you more to support. If I actually like a song, dog, I'm going to listen to it as many times as I want. It don't cost me. I got to pay this $10 regardless.
But that's what I'm saying when you say that, because of the whole streaming numbers and how things is. And I feel like if we're not in the day and age where you have to physically go out there and buy a copy. So yes, everybody is paying their whatever they are, a monthly or whatever they got for their streaming service, but then actually purchasing it and going about, oh, I'm gonna buy this, I'm gonna make sure I get this numbers. I feel like that would really kind of change it. Yes, everybody has the Apple Music or whatever. I don't really, you know what I'm saying? I don't see, they probably not seeing the same numbers. Because if people actually physically going to buy it.
Okay, so let's I guess whatever. Let's say whatever you're saying. Let's cool. Let's say I agree with whatever you're saying. What's the song before this beef that people was talking about from Kendrick Lamar? Like they talking about these music right now.
Right now, current weather, nothing.
So that's my point of it. Is it really out of, do I really like him, or is this more of just a hate towards, I just don't like Drake, or maybe I don't like what he stands for. I don't like, or maybe because I'm sure even like when I look at certain women who talking about it, like I seen a lady that I follow, she was just like, ladies, pay attention. Any man who don't like the Meet the Graham song, you need to get yourself away from him, because that's a man who's unhealed. And I'm like, dog, how do you take all of that away from me not liking a song?
But that's why I say I think we do take too much value in what other people say. If it's not like, just because I like the song or I like this more than that, don't mean that's what I stand for. I don't mean I support this. I still listen to R. Kelly, but whatever he did, I don't mean I support what he did. I like the music that's being put in front of me. I like that type of music. What you singing about, I like that. So for you to say, well, look at this man, you know, if he like Kendrick, whatever, like how can you really judge him? I just like the song. I don't mean that I believe in it.
And let's be clear, that and the crazy thing is, and I don't want to rank him or nothing, but that I'm not gonna lie to you, that Meet the Graham song, the way Kendrick did that situation when he was talking, let me talk to your son, let me talk to your mother, let me talk to your father. Dog, he smoked all that stuff. And let's be, I'm not, and realistically, I do kind of like that he's doing it to Drake, because I do feel like it do have, because realistically, we would never have this type of deep dive conversation on no Kendrick Lamar project ever. And I don't feel like a lot of people don't, unless you are just a super stan. And I think that even that window for those people kind of don't even really pay it no attention, dog. Like, and that's what my only thing is, like, you can't sit here, because after it's all said and done, even just the same way we could tie it into the WNBA, and a little bit later it's like, oh, we gonna act like Caitlin Clark is the bigger deal. And then it was kind of like, dog, y'all allow some girl on Instagram Live get a bootleg Angel Reese video to do almost 2 million views. You know how crazy that sound, dog? And it's just, and I think that sometimes the day and age we live in is like, if you don't have a strong opinion on your own, though, you can allow people to actually dictate you and tell you. And that's most people. Don't, let's be clear. I do think we live in a world where a lot of people are sheep. And that to me was the biggest thing. I'm like, dog, sheep. This somebody literally on their Instagram Live recorded a whole preseason game. They got 2 million views, dog. Because you spent so much time, and listen, let me tell you one thing, and we get back to the Kendrick and Drake thing. One, because I just brought that in. I shouldn't have so early. But the one thing the WNBA gonna have to learn: black women on social media, bro, are the most difficult people. Will stay on your neck until you submit. DJ Vlad had to learn it. The WNBA gonna learn it. You ain't gonna be able to play with Angel Reese. You may be able to play with everybody else, but I'm tell you one person that you're gonna have to give the same exact attention that you give Caitlin Clark is Angel Reese, dog.
No. And I mean, and once we start talking more about sports, I get into that. But I mean, even that instinct, I just feel like some people are not, like we talked about before. You might get this attraction, you might get all this feed right now because it's trendy. Can you really withstand?
Nigga, Marcus, stop. No, your WNBA got to get there. Don't make it. You got to use your words the right way when you talk about that. Angel Reese, that's a real.
But I'm not saying even Angel Reese, regardless of Angel Reese, them just period. This probably the most popular class you have in there, and even still, how you video and how you filming. I mean, how you got your stuff set up. You should have been prepared. You knew this was about to change. Of course. And that's why I said you can't look about money and say we're not getting paid enough when you're not even prepared. Like even with their whole league pass and how they got games set up, some of their games are not even getting televised, even if you pay for the league pass. Yeah. So that's why I'm just saying, when it comes to marketing, you should know how to capitalize on it. You should have everything up and running because you knew they was coming in here.
Yeah, and I do. I mean, I totally agree with you. And like I said, we don't. Let's stay. I guess stay on topic. I apologize for that, for even taking us right there. But I do want to sit here and say, like I said, to me, all the songs was cool. Like I said, if you're a fan of whoever you are, I think you're gonna like it more. But I do wonder, even just people listening right now, are we burnt out of the conversation? Because I feel like everybody overdid it. Like you keep saying everybody giving their opinion, and it just for somebody like me, I'm like, bro. If for the people that I go to, like academics, I'm cool. Like I know that he's a Drake fan, so I know if I want to hear the Drake stand a point of view, I'm gonna go listen to academics. If I feel like and the crazy thing is, and I seen just even with the colonizer line, and for people who don't know, like of course I tell y'all I listen to Hot 97 and Peter Rosenberg. Like I told y'all, he's from here, but he's a white man. He's a white Jewish man, bro, and they tore him up. And shout outs to Roy from Roy and Maul that used to be on Joe Budden podcast. He called him. I mean, he like, bro, me and you both, and any other white dude who speaks on hip hop should skip this topic. Like because he tweeted it like, oh, this ball was crazy, and people was smoking him. Like I'm talking, that joint had like 12 million views, and they was smoking his boots. And I know, and you know what's so crazy? People try to act like you don't, like the comment section don't never get to him, because I'm listening to them today, and he even on the radio, and he kind of like every time Ebro brought that line up, he had no comment. But I heard like earlier in the show, he was kind of making it like, yeah, my mentions was going so crazy I didn't see the comments. I know you saw the comments because you absolutely made sure you skipped that topic because they tore him up. Oh, they tore him and Vlad up. So it's just like, and they gave Roy his credit because Roy was like, no, that's not no way, and we are not equipped to be in this conversation because, dog, you are still a visitor. It don't matter how much songs you listen to. And he was one of those people where he was like, though, I remember he had it, and I'm talking, they was crushing him every time he thought he was eating on the Twitter. He's like, man, I done forgot about more hip hop than most of y'all done listen to. So, how do y'all make it equipped? And people was like, bro, you still not black. You haven't, how many, and he is somebody, like I said, I listen to him. So I'm like, people was like, dog, how many friends have you lost from gun violence or been to jail or locked up? Like, you can't sit here because you listen to music. You can't sit here. And that's one of the things that Kendrick was kind of like poking at Drake. Like, you can do the music, but have you actually still lived the life? And that's for people when they're giving their opinion on music. Sometimes it's like, yeah, it's cool, but you haven't really lived it. So what makes you feel like you are above what everybody else is feeling or their opinion on what they're listening to? Because there's some people like I have not listened. I'm probably sure most of y'all, if you listen to a lot of content or a lot of podcasts, you ain't hear too many people go crazy about that YMW Melly line. You know why? Because most of them really don't take in hip hop like that. So that bar don't even make you be like, oh my God, it's so crazy. But if you really into like what's going on in the hip hop culture, that YMW Melly line, because that nigga basically said, I hope, that nigga, what he say? He said, I hope Aubrey and Cole really my friends, because if they not, I'm gonna turn into YMW Melly. And his mother says,
I was about to ask you that. How do you feel about her speaking out on it?
the mother?
Yeah,
she was right to.
But you are you saying they're wrong for even mentioning that? Because
Yes, because he's still on trial for that, dog.
No, but with the clip you played for that, didn't he say something about why the clip you started off with?
But that's a battle. But it was a battle rap. But he don't count. Like, nigga, how many people are actually watching that? That's like a small community. This is Kendrick Lamar.
So, but
beefing against Drake.
But that's my only question, because he's that high power. He used your son name. But anybody else, you don't really care.
Yeah, hell no. Because y'all think for that battle, that battle rap is just, it's different. But literally, I thought, did I send you the jump when she was on that girl show and she was asking her about that line? It's probably too much anyway. But anyway, YMW Melly mother did do an interview, and she was just basically like, "Dog, my son." We talked about that. We talked about how long he been in jail. I think what we said was last week it was at like 1900 days. So now it's probably like we talking about like 19 and what 1900 and maybe 8 days now. So you got he's in Florida. So that's
the one with the dreads, right?
Yeah, the one with the dreads. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you got to think about realistically for him, he's fighting for his life, trying to beat those charges. So it's almost like you're literally, and he even, I guess he posted on his Instagram, he was like, I'm a huge Kendrick Lamar fan. I appreciate the shout out. So it's flattering, but it's kind of messed up that this is what I'm known for. But you got to think about some court, it's so easy to be like, oh yeah, we don't watch the news for nothing else or whatever. When you're on trial, when you're a juror, you're not supposed to like take in information or news about the trial, but I'm sure they can still listen to music. I might not be paying attention to the trial because the trial not still as high profile, but dog, this Kendrick Lamar and Drake beef is a high profile beef. People who don't really sit here and know too much about it are going to ask about it. I'm sure y'all parents, y'all done probably had conversations with y'all parents who probably don't care about neither one of them, but they done heard people talking about it on the radio and sitting here saying whatever the case may be. So it's just like, I'm not going to lie. That bar was hard to me, but I wouldn't want to be YMW Melly right now. Because somebody gonna bring it up.
What did he did be the charge, right? Or some got
mistrial,
right?
Okay, it was a mistrial. So the first time it was a mistrial because they didn't have enough evidence.
It wasn't everything to throw it out because he hasn't been free.
No, he hasn't been free. So they basically no. So what they're doing now is retrialing them for it.
Oh, so they still retrial.
They retrial for. So the first one, if the first one was a mistrial, but and most times.
So that's what I was asking. I thought maybe he probably had different charges, so he probably just went for one charge.
No. It's all for the same thing. So it was just a retrial. So for, like I said, for most people, most of the time it would have been over. But then for some people, it's just for like this situation. It's kind of like you just in a rough situation, dog. Where it's like I ain't gonna lie to you, that ball still was hard to me. No, let that John load up. But yeah, we can still keep talking about it because we're recording for the YouTube. Yeah, but like I said, just that, I guess my whole takeaway just from the Joan is like you're not gonna really be able to sway anybody to be a fan of the other person. I do think it's a great. For hip hop, I do feel kind of bad for other rappers though that was dropping.
That's what I was about to ask you. Do you? I mean, but if you still get your attraction, you still get talked about.
But you're not though. Like who really?
But nobody pick you up major. But if you still got people listening to it, like what it really matters? Like I want to be talked about, or I want people actually listening to it. Or you saying I'm not gonna listen to it if I don't even hear nobody talking about it?
I think it depends on what type of fan you are. Like for somebody like me on a Friday. I still went to go listen to the new Gunna. I still went to go listen to the new Moneybagg Yo and see what both of them, see what they put out and listen to it. And I listen to the whole Full Back project. We can get into that even a little bit later in the episode. But I do like the new Gunna. I like the new Moneybagg Yo. But I'm sure neither one of them really getting the conversation that they wanted. And even for Gunna, it's kind of like, all right, I know that I'm getting ready to push out an album. I'm kind of trying to lead up the singles and get some traction. So you're right, do regular. And I do think even for them, it's still like when we talk about rappers, it's like you got to figure out how to build your own relationship so you can still get people to talk about my project even in the midst of all this beef. And that's why I think a lot of rappers kind of
even now with the battle going on, I guess you see Game trying to throw in there, trying to stir up, trying to get some attention. Mm-hmm. So you as a rapper, and that's why I kind of respect Drake and Kendrick, because y'all keep putting out music, you keep keeping it relevant, and it's like, all right, well, what are the rest of you other rappers doing where you saying, oh, I got to take a break, or I can't make music, or I'm not putting music out, where you can't, like, we looking at it right now where somebody's giving us, they damn near giving us what, 2 songs a week now? They've been giving us?
And you've seen a lot of people
quality music at that.
No, for sure. And I do think, and that is one of the things I did see people giving Drake credit for. Was like, dog, for hip hop, especially if you're a Kendrick Lamar fan, dog, that's the most music he ever put out this fast in his whole entire career.
Yeah.
So you talking about it took him 5 years to put out Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers, and it literally he didn't put out what 6 songs now in the course of like a month almost.
And not to be a conspiracy theory type situation, but if this is the play we running, and this is to get more people attracted to us to the rap game, or just get, because like you said, last year we was going through the whole, they ain't had one top Billboard music or whatever last year. Now we get more attention onto us. I'm with it. If this is a WWE, we, you know what I'm saying, we bring it back to Stone Cold Rock, like this is what we got right now to get everybody attention. I'm with it. Now, how do anybody else capitalize on it? It might be a little tough situation.
Yeah, I think it would. But and the crazy thing is, I guess, and one of the things I was thinking about was like, and which was kind of sad, and I was probably sound hypocritical about it later on when we started talking about actual real news and stuff. I do kind of feel like, dang, I enjoy the real rap beef, like the street beef. I enjoy the little Dirk and NBA Youngboy, knowing that this can go completely left. And these songs and what they saying to each other, they really mean it. Where it's like, because I'm like the Drake and Kendrick thing now is kind of getting so corny and it's kind of getting champed because like it's too much gossip and it's like y'all put nasty allegations on each other, especially for the Kendrick situation, because it's like, and this is how I know people just really hate Drake, or you may just hate success. And I do think and that line he even said, I hate the women that you talk to because they think they real women and they not. And I'm not speaking just for me, I'm speaking for the culture. I do think realistically, a lot of people do feel that way about Drake and the women that Drake, I guess they feel like Drake speaks to, like the BBL, the Instagram models. Because a lot, of course, let's be realistic, most people attach that to Drake. So that, and when we talk about Instagram models and all those situations, I do think a lot of people attach that to Drake. So that type of behavior, what people are tired of on social media, like I'm tired of the half naked girls. And listen, pause, I'm not talking about me, but I'm just speaking how people move, and I'm watching how people are critiquing and hanging on to certain lines from certain songs that he put out. I do think realistically, a lot of people, it's a huge audience that felt what he was talking about. And I do feel like those are the people feeling like if we can get Kendrick to win this beef, we can kind of change the behavior of hip hop. And I think that's why some people are taking it so personal, where they feel like, hey, if I can get everybody to sit here and say Kendrick Lamar won, this is what we need from real hip hop, and we want rap back, and we want people with morals and principles, let's push Drake out the door so we can kind of change the tide of the music business and the music industry. And which I think is kind of, it's corny, because it's just like, and you had to see a lot of women come and defend him, and it was kind of the crazy. Like I seen people saying like, "Damn, well, I know rappers is taking up for him," and it's kind of, no, he a big boy, he can handle it. He's obviously handling himself, and he's kind of like doing it where it's not like like it don't seem like it's really no struggle for him. He's doing what he's supposed to. But you see so many, like the young lady for the volleyball team. He's like, "Oh, this is my godfather. What are you talking about? He came to support me at one of my biggest moments. I broke like 2 school records. He came to the game and talked to us." And I do think that's, and people look at that, and that's again what I'm talking about when people try to call him like a culture vulture or call him a colonizer. I think that's corny, because like, he didn't help so many people's career.
No, he did, but that's why
it's not no but to that.
No, but here's my but to it, and I just feel like when we say the whole colonizer, I get it, it's a part, but at the end of the day, because everybody's kind of be woke or whatever, what was the difference between what Eminem did when he first came out there? He's doing the exact same thing as a Drake. So like I said, when you tell people, "Oh, well, you call it," but how can you put that in the picture if you didn't give Eminem that same pushback?
I think I hear what you're saying. I think I don't think Eminem has put on as many people as Drake have. I don't think no rapper has put on as many people as Drake has.
But okay, but we giving him credit for putting on, but also is it not better than himself too, right? It's not like
dog, I hear what you're saying, but you can't, it's no but to it, dog. You helped the Migos are the Migos today because of those Drake features. From even, he never let them go down to the point where they was going to die out. Like, no, I'm going to make sure I'm going to carry. And even when he said that, who was he beefing with? When he was throwing shots at somebody, he used that QC line. I forgot what jump song that was. It was on, and he was like something about. But listen, what I'm saying, he never let the Migos die. He never, I'm talking about even to the realistically, rest in peace to take off, even to his actual death, he still went to this man. A colonizer would never went to this nigga funeral, dog, and literally gave a speech. That's my whole point of where it's corny. Like, dog, he literally walked these boys into the industry and damn near held their hand. At any point where it seemed like it was gonna get slow for them, let me see it and make sure they cool. I'm gonna get on Versace. I'm gonna sit here and I'm gonna do Walking Like a Talker. I'm gonna take them on tour, on their first real world tour. Like, it's not he gave Lil Baby endless alley-oops. We talked about this before when we talked about who would you rather get a feature from Kanye or Future or whoever the case may be. And we all can sit here and say some of these bigger songs for people when especially for somebody like you, who you're not a huge fan of none of this, well, you know they're big songs from Drake. And he made sure and sit here, and even for Lil Durk, he constantly still he has never let Lil Durk kind of, even since him and Durk have got this friendship or whatever they got, though, he make sure, okay, I'm gonna bring Durk on tour every chance I got. I'm gonna bring him out. I'm gonna keep giving him them highlights. I'm not gonna make it seem like, oh, I put Durk here and it allowed him to fall down. No, he didn't. He did the same thing for 21 Savage. And that's why you never gonna, it's something, and that's why the Future thing probably for him really hurt his feelings. Like, dog, I took you on tour. I didn't help you get, I didn't put you in the place. Your last big song until this diss song was mine, it was me and Tim's. And that to me is just the same again when we talk about.
But I feel like that's not fair though.
What you mean? What's not fair?
But you can't. So you saying all the Future big songs Drake was a part of?
No. I'm not saying that at all. No way.
No, that's what I'm taking from you. Saying you basically taking credit for whatever I put in. You saying my biggest song is because of you, and that's it. That's why I'm taking it from, because what you saying is you saying with the Migos, but I feel like them two Migos songs that you named with Drake on it, I don't feel like that's their biggest song.
But at their time, that was their biggest song. At that time, though, Versace, that was it. That was their biggest song.
You gave me a boost, but I don't feel like that's
you
can't say you made my career.
Nigga, I gave you the extreme boost in stimulus, dog. Did you
value off of it too from my fan base too? That's why
you didn't have a fan base, nigga. What are you talking about? They didn't have a fan base. They didn't have a mixtape. They didn't have no real solid foundation yet. You had a song, dog. If you have a song and now you have a fan base because I give you an alley, you cannot discredit somebody and call him a colonizer. And I made sure I walked you to the joint. I ain't never seen him say no.
But that's what I'm saying. They never called him that, but Kendrick called him that. Looking at it hindsight, and that's why I'm just saying, like, but when you say you giving him credit for that, that's why I'm just like, well, damn, what about everything else I did to it? You might have gave me that boost to get me over the hump, more commercials, more views on that side of the spectrum. But I'm not saying you made my whole career.
No, I'm not. It's not about you made my whole career.
That's what I feel like. That's why I feel like you taking it as like you slighting because I mentioned it.
Would Kyrie Irving be as a household name is Kyrie Irving if he didn't play beside LeBron James? No, he wouldn't be. Listen, dog. I ain't saying he made. Guess what? LeBron is home right now, and Kyrie is balling out his mind. But guess what? Is that name already solidified? We know who Kyrie Irving is because he played beside LeBron James, and they came back from a 3-0-1 deficit and won a championship and beat that Golden State Warriors team. That still benefit him, dog. Most of the people, that still is a beneficial fact. Not sitting here saying, and we're talking about these all the people that I am fans of.
Right. And we stay
minus the Drake songs.
No, hold up. But okay, just stay right there. So let me ask you this one, and this might go in the same as hands in hand. With Ray Allen, do you feel like Ray Allen didn't have a career if he didn't hit that 3-pointer to win LeBron that championship, right? And I want to say that was the first one that they won.
Mm-hmm.
If he didn't hit that, do you feel like, I made Ray Allen who he is?
Because I'm old enough to watch He Got Game. He Got Game is my top 5 favorite movie. So no, you can't ask somebody. I'm too old that you can't ask me that question.
So he still but you added to my career. You made my career even better. I still had a career before you, but you made it even better. You gave me more eyes to it. I'm not gonna sit here. That's why I say when you say Future, that's just like Future, right? If Ray Allen is Future right now, I had my hits, I had my March Madness, I had all this, but you just added more eyes to me because I came to Miami and fuck with you. I'm not gonna sit here saying.
I think you're missing my point. I'm not sitting here giving Drake credit for these people, but I'm not about to sit here and discredit him neither for what he did. That's what I'm saying. You're missing the point. I'm not giving him credit for their career. No, I'm sitting here saying with that line that Kendrick Lamar and people that are running with, and for like I said, for people who may not be fans of these artists that he named, you may not be a fan of this, but I know for a fact that I'm sure 2 Chainz would never see. Dog, when 2 Chainz battled Rick Ross, and 2 Chainz played a lot of Drake songs that him and Drake had together. I'm sure at that point of Drake and 2 Chainz career, he appreciated every last one of them Drake songs. When before Rick Ross and Drake was beefing, I'm 100% positive that Rick Ross appreciated them Drake songs. Like, dog, let's be serious. Like, that's my whole point of where it's signed is corny, and it get like, all right, bro. Like, we over this because y'all dragging it out to the point where it don't even make no sense. For you to sit here and try to discredit this man, I can't tell you who Kendrick Lamar put on.
But that's why I feel.
What's the feature? What's the feature that everybody could be like, oh, this is the reason. This Kendrick Lamar versus the reason why I got hip to these people. There ain't one, dog. So that's my point. And some people could even be like, most people maybe their first time heard the first who?
Nipsey.
What's the Nipsey song? Nigga, Nipsey.
I thought he had a big one, but Nipsey.
Yeah, after he died.
No, before he died, I thought he had it before he died.
The only song I know is off of the Victory Lap. I don't know. I'm not about to make it like I'm some huge Nipsey Hussle or Kendrick Lamar.
I'm not saying he boosted him up, but I thought he did have a spike
I don't know. I don't know. If we don't know the top of your head, then you can't count it. That's what I'm just saying. You have to be able to sit here and say, what can I, because we can go down a long list of people that we be like, oh nah, Drake gave him that stimulus pack and got them up out of here. Like he got them to where they needed to go. And you just can't deny that. And Drake is consistently done. He even done it for CMG artists. He did it for Block Boy JB. It's just like I said, it's so easy to sit here and say, oh, he was using people, but I'm sure those people didn't feel like he was using them. I'm sure those people be like that. I needed that. Them paychecks that I was getting off of them streaming songs and whatever the case may be, I'm sure you appreciate. He did that for everybody on QC.
But that's okay.
From the city, this is what I'm saying. He did it for everybody on QC, from the City Girls to the Migos to Lil Baby, or Lil Yachty, everybody on QC. He gave them, especially at that early QC, he gave every last one of them that look.
So then, okay, so then our question is this: we battling. I have to have something to say, or even put something in the play. You know what I'm saying?
No. So I think you're missing what I'm saying. I'm not discrediting what either one of them are doing. I'm not talking about them. I'm talking about the people that what I'm criticizing is the way people are reacting, and you're sitting here trying to rewrite history.
That's what you got fans for. That's what you got fans for. That's why you can't get mad. That's what you got fans. This is like people sitting there praising New York Knicks, fans going to Philly. Everybody else say, oh, I wouldn't go to Philly because that's how, but you made that moment. So that's why I said you can't get mad at how fans being a fan and supporting their favorite artists. You can't take it as, oh, well, nah, this is bullshit. I don't really believe that. You can't say you believe that. But if they're a fan of that person, you can't discredit them because that's who they're a fan of. Just like with Jordan fans, and you say, well, how can you compare Jordan to LeBron? If you're a Jordan fan, you're a Jordan fan. I can't persuade you.
I know. You're absolutely right. And I think, but I guess for me is, and if it's, I'm not trying to discredit the fans. You're absolutely right. You can't. A fan is a fan. You absolutely. I'm a fan of LeBron, but I think sometimes when I'm saying it, I'm looking at people who maybe even in the hip hop media space longer than I've been, or people who create content longer than I have, and I'm looking at you like, I'm looking at you to keep it a buck. Like that's what I made. I made it sure.
What else do we have to talk about? If I don't even draw, that's why I say I feel like when you go to that whole, I'm just being biased, I'm on this side. It's just like, all right, I go to you, but then it's like, damn, do I really take you on this spin because you are?
So you're proving my point. That's what I'm talking about. So if I'm coming to you as a fan, or I'm trying to learn information from you, or I'm trying to just get a different spin on whatever, even if it was sports or music, whatever the case may be, I want almost an unbiased opinion, because if it's too biased and we can't have real dialogue on like, oh no, this was fire, but this was kind of like BS, where it's like, all right, dog, like what are we doing right now? Like even with the Drake situation, when he was talking about he think Kendrick homeboy got his kid, like I'm not gonna lie to you, dog. If I'm Kendrick, I almost want my wife to come and like, I don't necessarily know, like, how do you even defend some of that stuff? Like, I couldn't, and that's why I even named this episode The Price of Fame, because I'm listening to some of these Jones and I'm like, I don't even know what I would do in that situation. And I don't think most of us who are indulging in the conversation and in the music and running with certain bars, like I guess my thing to everybody, and then we'll talk about it even later when we get into the Tom Brady roasting thing. Like, what is realistically the real price of fame, and what would you really do, like, if you were in this situation? Because I'm like, I don't know, like, what I look for. Because like I said, shout out to all the, like, the young lady, I think she was 17 when Drake was on the stage, and I think this was like, I want to say this was almost, I don't even know how many, she was 17 then.
31 now.
Yeah, she's 31 now. And Drake is only 37. So when people kind of even drawing it like, bro, he's 6 years older than this girl. Y'all dragging it to hell for real. But that's my point of what I'm sitting here saying is, people realistically, I don't know what Drake has done, but I think it's maybe because what people feel like what he stands for is like, we want to just try to cancel him and end him. In which, like I said, if that's the case, then cool. I'm still gonna listen to the nigga.
Everybody's still gonna listen to it. That's why I said, I just feel like when you look at now, it's just like, I think everybody's just doing it for clicks and likes. I'm saying what I'm saying just to draw attention to me. I not necessarily know that you really feel that way.
I mean, and you may absolutely be right. I guess
if you didn't like me for one, but you didn't care, you wouldn't even be talking about it. You wouldn't even pay attention. All right, I see people talking about it, but I'm not even feeding it. If you really don't like it. And that's how when we say, okay, we don't talk about wars or whatever stuff going out of the country, because they don't have nothing to do with us
for sure.
So that's what I'm saying. If you really don't care about them, you're not a fan of it, or you don't even pay it no mind, you're not even going to entertain. Like, all right, cool. It's some people. I think it was a girl. She said her little joint going viral. Like, oh, I'm the only person that don't know what the Kendrick and Drake. But guess what? That's going to get them a lot of looks, because you still talking about something trendy, even though you don't even know what's going on
for sure.
And I think like nowadays everybody's using social media for the come up.
Yeah, for the come up. I guess I'm gonna play this clip of this girl. She was in the club and she was calling DJ Mustard out on his BS.
Kids just dropped Not Like Us. I'm in Vegas. DJ Mustard was playing Vegas tonight. We go to the club. Obviously, I'm a European DJ, so I don't expect DJs to play anything, right? No expectations. However, 1, we're in America. 2, we're in Vegas, of all places in America. 3, it's DJ Mustard. 4, it is the most talked about song right now in the entire world. You produce the beat. We are all expecting, and you know we are expecting, hoping, wishing you're going to play the song. We were in that club for hours. Had a great time, by the way. Had a great time. Fun set. He played so many Drake records. I'm going to post a couple. I got like 2 or 3 clips, I think, of him playing different Drake records when the club was heaving, packed. You know, when he played the song, he did like 45 minutes of like slow jam R&B. I'm talking Fantasia, Keisha Cole. When the club had already emptied out and we were waiting for the lift to take us out of Marquee, and there was about 100 people left in there, basically with the lights on, that's when he played the K-Dot track. I'm sorry. No, I'm sorry. That's lame. No, I'm sorry. That's whack. No, I'm sorry. You kept playing Drake to a full club. I've just dyed my hair red, so sorry. My hair's bleeding everywhere. And no. Hard proof coming in 3, 2, 1.
Paid gig.
Huh?
It's a paid gig.
But but you're still a DJ. You still Mustard. You can play whatever you want.
I feel like some people do have stipulations of regular, depending on the party, who it is.
Oh, you're DJ Mustard, Marcus.
I get it, you DJ Mustard, but I got paid. I'm not about to say mess my money up. If this nigga's not a Kendrick fan or he likes Drake, I'm not about to sit here and play him dissing Kendrick. I mean Kendrick dissing Drake.
But I'm listening. I hear you gonna get paid regardless. So I
got paid regardless. But then you also, like I said, you don't want to fuck your money up. If I sit here and drop this, I'm dropping this exclusive at a Drake. Let's just say this is Drake cousin or whoever the case. We don't know who he is, but let's say he got major ties with Drake. He booked me. He paid me. I cannot sit here and drop this. I don't care how
you're in the West Coast. I hear what you're saying.
I get it. I don't care how hot grease this is. I cannot sit here and drop this. I'm gonna drop it at the end when everybody leaving out and y'all can't record this shit.
No,
because I still gotta make it home.
Oh, you're going to make it home. You're from the West Coast, dog. This is Vegas.
I get it, but at the end of the day, you still get pay your bills. You gotta keep your lights on. Oh. You sit here and play that. Come on, that would have looked wild.
No,
this is OVO Mikey party, and he plays the Kendrick diss.
Dog, it's DJ Mustard. He made the beat to the song, dog. This is their first time them two ever even did something together. And let's be clear, and just so we clear before we get off of this subject, like I said, I'm sure most people are tired of it by the time. No, dog, let's be clear. The 2 songs that I like the most from the Kendrick Lamar situation, of course, I mean, we all love like that, but the Euphoria joint, he blocked out on that song. I don't care what you're talking about. Oh, yeah. And I like the Not Like Us. But the difference is between, I'm sure if you listen to this podcast long enough, you've heard me talk about just miscellaneous West Coast, like that type of song. Like even just talking about just the way how aggressive they rap on the beats, like same way like with the Detroit niggas. So it's a little bit different where it's like, I like them songs. Like I don't care about that shit with him and Mustard. And I like it because I'm watching West Coast people, like literally, we don't know their street politics or whatever. But we do know they are heavy on gangbanging and watching all of them do the crip walking and all that. So it was like, that was fire to me.
I even respect them more because even Kendrick said, you can't Tootsie slide out of this one. Which is a good play. And like I said, that whole Tuesday side, when they were saying, oh, that's a gang, he doing, whatever they try to tie Drake. I respect it. This is both of them being creative and you doing whatever you got to do to showcase, your talents. I'm not mad at all.
No, for sure.
And I do, and I respect J. Cole for what he did, because just looking hindsight in how messy and all this shit is going on right now, you was a smart man. You played it smart.
You still kind of pussy though.
I don't care. You played a pussy, but you was a smart man. You don't want to be tired of this. You piece. You ain't getting you ain't getting tagged. Just like I said, if you was a part of this shit and affiliated with this shit, is getting messy. Real messy.
No, it's definitely getting real messy. And I'm not, like I said, the Meet the Graham song was like OD. Like that shit was so, it was like, that's what I'm saying. The way he did it was the creativity on how he did it was fire. But the song was actually like, bro, that shit was boring as hell. Like that shit sounded like he was trying to put niggas to bed.
But I think that's what we come to Kendrick for. Or we just like I can't.
No, that's what Kendrick fans come with him for. But if I'm a non-Kendrick fan, I'm never listening to that song ever again in my life. I don't care who he was talking about. I'm never listening to that song again in my life. No, them other 2 Jones, like I mean, maybe let's be even honest. The Euphoria Jones, I don't necessarily know how many times I may go back to listening to that. But the Not Like Us, I can add that to my gym playlist because that shit was hard.
But that's why that was a smart move. It's like, all right, but nobody else want to. I know I'm gonna get radio play for this.
No, it's no, especially, and if you don't get it nowhere else, you're gonna get it on the West Coast.
I feel like you can get it more even now because I feel like it's gonna be trendy. It's gonna be a
of course. But again, to me, the only thing again, and I guess if you've been listening long enough through this conversation, the only part that's corny to me is like, don't just celebrate that sound now. Like, dog, you should have been playing.
But you're going to do it because that's the
trend. No, that Super Soaker song was big. They even got it in NBA commercials now.
Like they got it, but I just feel like this right now is a big moment. It is a big moment where anybody can get off their feet off. Shit, even Triple H even invited them all or sent an invitation for them to come.
Shawn Michaels. So, like
everybody trying to come and come off of that, and I'm not mad at you.
Of course, everybody wants to be in the conversation, but like I said, all I'm just saying is, and this is just to everybody listening, just pay attention to the people. Like I'm sure for most of the dudes, y'all listen to me and y'all gonna listen to Joe. So Joe is Joe. So we gonna listen. You're gonna go to listen to him for that. But I'm talking about everybody else in between and coming around. Like I don't want to hear if this is your first time talking about rap music, bro, I'm cool. Say that shit for your group chat, dog. Like that's my opinion. And that's, I guess, as somebody who literally I'm making my business, let's talk about what's new, even for my friends that they got, like, dog, I'm just different. That kind of stuff, like, it just give me what's the shit the girls say, that shit give me the icks. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm cool on that. So, like I said, I felt like we didn't drain enough out of that conversation. Like I said, shout outs to, and let's be clear, and so we can roll. That Family Matters, when Drake came in with his mother, like, I don't think you should start this song off saying, nigga, you that nigga. Oh my God, that shit is hard.
I like that.
Nigga, that shit was hard.
But he just kept going in. He kind of
that shit was cool. He took his. Oh my God,
you kind of did a Kendrick, with the whole change. He's like, dog, you should just went crazy for it.
So
because that would have been your whole back to back. That would have been your back to back moment again.
No, nigga, he would have had it. No, let's be clear. And this is why you gotta give Kendrick some credit. And like I said, we gonna get off the topic. That was his moment. He had that Family Matters, nigga. I haven't made no videos about nothing else but that Family Matters, nigga. If he ain't put that shit out, it's so late. I was like, oh my God, this nigga just went so crazy. And then Kendrick just stepped on that shit and put out the Meet the Grams. So then I was like, all right, cool. But that Family Matters, I literally what I'm telling you. I listen to that Family Matters joke because it's a wreck. That's what I'm saying. And you can't say the Family Matters. If you say you don't like the Family Matters song, then you just don't like Drake at all. Because that song went crazy, because that was a Drake song. And the way he came in with his mother, I don't think you should, nigga. I was like, oh my God, dog.
E4. We don't want to hear you say nigga no more.
And he was just like,
and Drake, thank you. All I can say is thank you for what y'all doing right now. I'm glad.
Yeah, and it's cool. And like I said, if you
don't have verses, we don't have anything right now. What y'all doing right now, you're keeping people in tune.
You're keeping people in tune, and I think for most people, and probably, and this is how you kind of know if you kind of over the whole conversation and it's kind of getting too chatty patty and too gossipy for you. That just realistically know that you are old, because the kids would have loved this if this was their group of people. Like I even seen the NBA YoungBoy fans trying to put NBA YoungBoy in it,
and then the shit they be dissing and talking about. I'm like, dog, like who the fuck need to know all that? Like.
They talk about. I mean, it's like I said, if you didn't, just real quick, I guess for just the new drops on Friday, and we can get out of this conversation. Like I said, if you haven't heard that, what's happening? Basically, it's called WhatsApp from Gunna. Moneybagg Yo put out a new song. Rap City put out a new song with Erykah Badu called 3 a.m. What else was a good song that I like? I like The Baby and Skilla Baby put out. The Baby put out a.
They kind of fucking me up though.
What?
I don't think maybe it's the way it started.
Yeah, I didn't like the way it started. I'm with you. You talking about the Judy song with him and Skilla Baby? Yeah, I didn't like the way it started. I agree with you.
The Two Live Crew or somebody.
Yeah, I don't like whatever you saying. I totally agree with you. When I first heard it, I'm like, this kind of like, but he put out what was it, a 3-pack? But I like
because I feel like you should. Oh, see, I didn't know it was a whole.
Yeah, it's a 3-pack. So it's the song. The first song is Don't Try Me. It was cool. I like the Ghetto Superstar freestyle, and then it was the Judy jump with him and Skilla Baby. And shout out to Skilla Baby because and Skilla Baby is from Detroit. He just on a run right now where people know that he got a large women fan base, so people are going to him for the girl songs right now. And it's not even like
in the Young Miami shit.
That Young Miami shit was called dog.
I didn't even hit.
I ain't gonna lie to you. No, that's JT up right now. If you're talking about a beef, there's not a beef, nigga. JT is up. Give
JT credit. You finally got one.
What with the OK song?
Yeah, you got one. The other ones, you got one now.
Yeah, that okay. That okay, John. I like that, John, a lot. I'm not gonna hold you. Huncho put out a song with him, 2 Chainz, and Mike Will, and that's my thing. When
I fuck with it.
It was cool. It was cool. I like the crazy thing is, Gloss Up, you did a lot, dog, and we get into that in a second.
But
it's not better than the song with her and Jacquees.
It's not. But I feel like you gotta market yourself, and I just do it. It comes with a lot of headaches and a lot
that's
of
corny though,
it's
dog.
a lot
I'm not
of
gonna lie
shit.
to you.
It
But like I
is.
said,
It
we
definitely
could talk.
is.
We
It
could talk about it in
definitely
a second because I need to piss real quick. But dog, that gloss up, John. I ain't gonna hold you. I was